In today's video, I want to talk about a product that will take the weight off your quilt. Hi, I'm Kim Jamison Hurst of Chatterbox Quilts, and today I want to share with you the Martelli Quilt Assist suspension system. Now, I've been using this in my studio for quite a few months and I absolutely love it. And I want to explain what it is and why I find it so helpful. So first off, what is it? Well, it's a way to take the weight of your quilt up off your table, which makes it so much easier to move that quilt around on your domestic machine, whether you're free motion quilting or ruler quilting. So what is the Quilt Assist system? Well, you get two of these poles. You can see I've got one attached to my table already, but I wanted to keep one down to show you about it. So it's made of, I don't know, some kind of metal. It's very heavy actually. And from the base to the top part here, it's 24 inches, and then you've got an extension that's out here that's about 9.5 inches. And it goes onto your table, wherever your machine is. Let me just move this around this way. It's easier for me to show you. So you can see that it has the ability to screw onto your table. And so there's a part that'll go underneath your table, a part that goes on top of your table. It comes with a couple little pads. So you put one here, one there. That protects your table, so you're not going to get any marks or scratches or indents on it. And when you screw it on to your table, as I say, I've got the one on here, it is really sturdy, okay? You're able to get it in there really nice and tight. And because of the heavy metal they've made it out of, like this doesn't move at all, okay? So you get two of these in the set. Let me just move this out of the way. I'll move these two, because you need to get some things yourself to work with this system. And what I like about this is it gives you some flexibility. So you need to get some type of either curtain rod, a dowel, something that goes across and it will fit in these areas here. Now this is quite a good size. So it's going to hold a good size curtain rod. As you can see here, I've got a couple of examples of curtain rods, and you want to get something that's going to be good and sturdy. So if I got a really thin curtain rod, for example, I'm going to talk about curtain rods because that's what I think works best with the system. If you get a thin one, you can have some issues with that because it might start bowing, right? Depending on the weight of the quilt, because don't kid yourself, quilts can get kind of expensive. Yeah, well, that too. They can get kind of heavy, especially if they're, you know, like a queen size quilt or a king size quilt. There can be quite a bit of weight, quite a bit of drag associated with that size of a quilt. So you want to get a curtain rod that's good and sturdy, okay? So it's not going to bow on you or maybe even snap, who knows. So this particular one is the one I use, and you can get these in different lengths. This is from IKEA, so I will put a link below so you can see what this particular curtain rod is. And then you need something to hang from that rod that's going to attach to your quilt to hold it up, right? Okay, so again, thank you IKEA. I got this package. It's called Srillig, if I'm pronouncing that properly. Again, look below in the description for that product name. And it comes with a couple different things here. Well, actually, three different things. It comes with these hoops. They're like shower curtain hoops. They're just plastic, right? And then it comes with these little clips. And then you have the ability, if I can let's get a clip that's not clipped to the other one. You get these little clips. And then you have these other little parts that you can hook on to the clip. So this will go onto a ring, right? Hooks onto the ring. And then you've got the little clip that will clip onto your quilt. Now, you could use other things if you wanted to, but you're going to need some kind of a ring that slides along that curtain rod. You could have bungee cords maybe hanging from these if you wanted to. That's a personal choice. I like using these because, first off, they're inexpensive. Secondly, there's, I think, about 8 in a package. So you can put as many of these as you want on the rod to be able to hold up your quilt. And again, if you've got a heavier quilt, you may want to have more of those clips on the curtain rod to hold up that weight. Okay, so that's what you're going to need to work with the Quilt Assist system. So as I mentioned, I've got one of them up here already. I want to go and put the other one up here and put up my curtain rod with the clips and the rings and everything on it so you can see what that looks like. And then I'm going to show you how you get your quilt on and why I really like this system. So I've got my machine out and a quilt that I theoretically want to quilt. And I've also got my other Quilt Assist arm set up here with the curtain rod and the hooks and the clips attached to them. So I'm all ready to actually attach my quilt, but I just wanted to mention why I like a system like this. It's because, as you can probably see, my quilt is already over the front of my table, it's over the side of my table, and all that weight is causing drag when I'm trying to quilt. which is going to cause skip stitches, maybe thread breaks. It's not going to be fun. So that's why I like using this Quilt Assist system. So let me get my quilt attached to it, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So now I have my quilt attached to the Quilt Assist system, and I just want to point out a few things. First off, this is not my normal quilting setup, okay? So this is just a mock-up for demonstration purposes. You can put your Quilt Assist arms wherever you want to put them, but what I would suggest is that you have it so that it is lining up with your throat space here. There's no point in having that arm way off to the side there and your quilt, you know, starting way off and squishing itself in, okay? So I would start it in here. Now this side, of course, you can have it over a little bit further. And you can see how having this on here, it's just like a shower, isn't it? And you can move these around. As I quilt along, I can move my quilt, you know, back and forth easily with this system. It takes a little bit of getting used to, I will say that, but I like the fact that it's sturdy. Those arms aren't moving anywhere, they're not bending, not doing anything. When they're set, they're set. Only you're moving the quilt along it, okay? The other thing is you want to make sure you've got a bit of slack, okay? You can see there's a bit of a valley here probably. I hope you can see there's a little bit of a valley there in my quilt. You want some slack. You don't, you know, want to have it like this. If you're starting to get to that stage, you're going to be putting some stress on that thread, so it's time to unclip and reclip. So yes, you will have to do that as you go along with your quilt. But I've noticed a huge difference without having the weight of that quilt hanging over your table or even hanging over going onto another table. Having it up like that, it's just such a game changer when it comes to actually doing the quilting on your domestic machine. So I hope you'll take a look at the Martelli Notions Quilt Assist system. So look in the description below because I'll have a link to it and you can check it out for yourself and maybe you want to add it to your quilt studio. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. And for more helpful quilting information, be sure to go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.